me apologize. I'm sorry I haven't done a tutorial in a while. It's just been super busy around here. And I've written a lot of tutorials, but I just haven't had the chance to execute them. So I'm going to try to get better about that. Hopefully some time will free up. But let's get going on today's project. I'm going to do a movie tutorial, and I know Corey has done one recently, and I promise you I'm not copying Corey. I've had this tutorial in the works for a couple weeks, and I just haven't had a chance to get to it, but let's get to it today. Because it's loosely based on this Green Lantern um, logo, and I just made this Green Lantern logo out of with the marquee tools, a couple donuts, and the rectangle marquee tool, and that's all I did and filled it with black. And it took me all of 30 seconds, so I'm not going to waste your time showing you how to do it. It's pretty simple stuff. But in addition to this project, I have this clouds layer that I got off of Google or somewhere. And I have taken the time to put a mask on that um, and get rid of the bottom end of it because I want some black behind it. And I want it to look a bit more ominous, and that's kind of what it looks like now. So let's keep going because above this clouds layer, I want to make this whole thing look kind of green, hence the Green Lantern. So I'm going to get a new layer, and I'll just call it gradient. And we'll go to the gradient tool, and I already got green set up. I have a dark green sort of set up, not dark enough maybe, but close enough, to a lighter green, and I got those out of my swatches actually. And it's going to be a radial gradient. So if I hold down my Shift key and go right in the center and go center to left or right or top, I get that nice gradient. Now if you set that layer to overlay, you're going to get the clouds popping through. And now it really starts to take on a whole new effect. It looks a bit more ominous, and it pops a lot more. So the next thing I'm going to do is I kind of want to put some lightning in this. Now there are a lot of ways to make, well, not a lot, but there are quite a few ways to make lightning. And there's some lightning brushes, and I honestly couldn't find any brushes that appealed to me. They all looked sort of, the resolution I couldn't find wasn't what it should have been. So we're going to just make a lightning bolt the old-fashioned way, and I'll show you how to do that. If you go to your gradient tool and select black and white, or white and black, you can start on a new layer and just gradient across, or up or down or left or right. You just need a gradient. After that, go to filters and go to render and get difference clouds. Then invert that, Command I, and then let's level down, Command L, and grab your black slider and pull to the right, and you're going to see it start to pop there a little bit. And then grab your gamma slider over and keep going till you get the lightning you desire. And if that doesn't look great, start over until you find something you like and erase and do whatever it is you need to do. But that's how I made the lightning for this project. Now that one's horrible, but I have these two other ones I like, so I'm going to use those. I made those earlier. And I'm just going to grab those two layers and hold down my Shift key and drag them over. Now you can't see them because the black's killing it, so let's set those layers to screen, and those will start to pop, screen, and screen. There you go. Not bad. I'm going to move these layers around a bit so they kind of fit continuity-wise, and turn them just a bit, and stretch it out a little bit, maybe not that far. And rotate out here a little bit. And I'm just using free transform to do this. And give me my other layer. That's not bad. Let's turn it just a bit, stretch it out, and looks pretty good actually. I'm going to merge those two layers, those two lightners, Command E, and I'm going to lose the screen when I do this, but I'll just reapply the screen again. And there you go. Not bad. Let's deal with the logo a bit. And one of the things we're going to do with the logo is duplicate it, Command J. And then on the bottom one, that's going to be our drop shadow. So let's filter, blur, Gaussian blur. And on mine, I think I used 5. Pretty soft. You can kind of tell it's there. Let me zoom in. Let me undo that so you can see that again. Blown up a little bit. So bottom layer, Gaussian blur, and you're going to see this thing soften up a little bit. I'm just going to reapply the same one. There you go. A lot softer. And once I turn the wand on over it, you'll see it kind of bleeds a little bit more from behind, and it's way more subtle. Let's keep going right above that logo layer. Let's do an adjustment layer. So go to Layer, Adjust, Hue and Saturation, and we're going to marry that to the previous layer and hit OK. And we're going to colorize this. And is this the one I wanted to apply to? I think so. You know what? I lied. Let's not do it there. Let's lose that one. Let's go to the lightning layer. That's where we're going to apply the hue and saturation. New adjustment layer, hue and saturation. Sorry about that. Clip it. And then we're going to go to colorize, and you can see it turned red. So, and I'm going to use the stock setting on this, except I'm going to push green. But I'm going to try to keep a little yellow in there so it pops a lot more. And that looks pretty good. Because here's why I thought I needed to paint the logo green. On the logo green, I already have a bevel emboss set up. Let me turn that on. And I've set the bevel emboss highlight color to that light green, kind of the light green we used before. Right there on the highlight mode. Ooh, looking pretty good. All right, right above that, we're almost done, believe it or not. Right above that top logo layer, let's make a new layer, and we're going to call that layer Sun. Because from a previous tutorial, I showed you these brushes I got from Brush Easy called 8 Suns, and I will put the web address here at the bottom. In fact, look down there now, that's the web address. And I'm going to use the sun from 8 brushes that's shaped like a crescent. And here it comes. You can kind of see it with white as my foreground color, by the way. And I am going to paint. And the offset on this brush is a little weird, so use caution when you use it. It's kind of in a weird spot. And I'm going to paint that. And not bad. I'm just going to arrow move this over and get it into a position that I can tolerate. And that's a lot better. That pops. I'm going to use Command T, Transform to just sort of massage this thing into place a little bit more because it's not exactly where I want it. There we go. Nice. That pops like crazy. On that sun layer, I'm going to put a mask and just with a soft brush. Let me reset my brushes here. Yeah, I'm just with a regular soft edge brush. I'm going to take off a little bit of the fat on these ends because they're a little bit more than I want. Not bad. The other thing I made was some text earlier. Just got some Green Lantern text on the bottom. And that, my friends, is how you make a nice little Green Lantern logo. Some layer blending, a couple bevel embosses, and some specialty brushes, and you are good to go. Hey, everybody, thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate you guys coming back. I got some more stuff coming next week, so have a good time. Thanks again.